Welcome back to the Global Sports Report here on the Rise News. Now, let's cross over to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where we've been joined by the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Dikko, who will be talking to us about the importance of the Islamic Solidarity Games and also how sports can be a tool, a veritable tool for national diplomacy and international diplomacy. All right, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today here on the show. All right, sir, let's get it started. I would like to hear from you. Talk to us about these games and why is it important to the National Sports Commission's sporting calendar for the year 2025?
Well, you see, it's an international game. It is a game that has been sanctioned by the International Olympic Committee. And so it's in the calendar of the international games. And it is open to all the countries across the world who wants to participate. And it is being competed within an environment that is very professional with the best of facilities and everything. So for the National Sports Commission, we see it as a platform to now give our young and upcoming athletes and also even the professionals a platform to test themselves and to work within the framework of the best international possibilities. And then we see how their numbers is. So basically to us, it's preparatory games where we can now get our athletes to be prepared for the next big games like the Commonwealth Games, like the Olympics and what have you. And also it's a trajectory. For example, a lot of the athletes that are here with us are the same athletes that participated in the National Sport Festival earlier this year. So it's really a framework for us to keep developing our athletes and also having them to be internationally aligned and be able to compete with the best in the world.
All right, before we talk about diplomacy and how this games actually help Nigeria with that, talk to me. As it stands right about now, this has been a great year for sports in general. For the first time in 2 decades, sports, and I mean it in its terms, sports, talking about basketball, badminton, volleyball, athletics, I could go on, has enjoyed exposure and tournament participation like no other, like we've seen in time past. And they talk about football taking most of the attention is now becoming a far-gone thing. Talk to us about that. Is it deliberate or was it coincidental that the year 2025, because we had the CAA, we had the National Sports Festival, we're having the Solidarity Games, we had the Athletics Championship in Tokyo. We could go on and on. Badminton, World Championships, Taekwondo, to mention but a few. Talk to us about the year 2025 and the diversity we are seeing in sports, in sporting events.
Well, it's clearly what we set out to do. That is why we have the National Sports Commission, because from day one, we told everybody that we are for every sport. And then we are here to develop every sport. And we are here to give every sport the opportunity and the platform to develop within its comparative advantage. And so therefore, we came up with our own blueprint, the Renewed Hope Initiative for Nigeria's Sports Economy, which sits on 3 pillars, developing our internal sporting ecosystem and also doing whatever we have to do to make sure our sports is developing the right way, and then also cleaning our sports to make it more appealing. So it's clearly the intention of what we're supposed to do, that we ask all the federations in Nigeria, they have to work and make sure they are doing a lot in the domestic scene. And if they are doing that, we give them the platform to also test their capabilities in the best competitions across the world. So we are doing the 2 things pari passu, is the vision, and that's the only way it's supposed to grow. As we are developing internally within the domestic structure, getting the sports economy we want, you also have to give the athletes a platform to compete across with the best in the world. So that by the time the major tournaments and competition came through, they'll be prepared and they will be exposed, and there is nothing that will stand between them and getting the right medals except their own performance. So we are very intentional and deliberate about it, and with the support of Mr. President, all that we need is always given to us to do that. This year alone, we have maybe over 50 sporting teams across all sports that have gone across the world to participate in all the competitions they could. And maybe only about 2 or 3 have not won something for Nigeria. So this is the best way to develop. For example, the athletes we have from the sports festival, we are now bringing them here to participate in the Islamic Solidarity Games. It's quite a progression for that. And that is how we want to do it, and that is how we will continue doing it.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking about sports diplomacy, and more important, how do we move sports forward in Nigeria, and what do we have in store for Nigerians in 2026 from the angle of sports? Don't go anywhere. You're still watching the Global Sports Report here on Rise News. You're still watching the Global Sports Report here on Rise News, and we still have with us the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Malam Shehu Dikko, who has been talking to us about the ongoing Islamic Solidarity Games going down right now in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Chairman, you were invited by the Prince, and this is a man that is well versed in sports, and they are part of the people cheering the new frontier of sports in Saudi Arabia, because where you are in Riyadh right now, Riyadh season is literally taking over sports globally, and more importantly, you can what and I know you'll be having bilateral discussions about sharing ideas and how to move things forward. If our engineers can actually help us with the noise, thank you very much. It will be much appreciated. So I want to hear from you. Talk to us. What do you seek to achieve with this particular outing? And I know there will be talks on the sidelines. I know there will be investment talks on the sideline. I know there will be collaboration talks on the sideline. Just let Nigerians know what to expect and what will be the biggest take-home from the attendance of Nigeria in these games.
Well, the biggest take-home, first and foremost, is the fact that we have given our athletes the platform to grow and to develop, to compete, and to test their possibilities. So on the sporting side, it's quite brilliant for us. And we are very intentional about it. We came only with we have to allow our elite athletes development board to look at our athletes and see who are the athletes that are likely to pull a medal if they come in here. So we came with the athletes that are already focused and almost at the stage of getting a medal. So we are not bringing people just here for a jamboree. So they know what they have to do. And even the way they are coming here, we didn't bring all the athletes here at once, because we are testing a new structure of attending this multi-event sports. So we programmed the athletes to arrive within 2 days of their sports, and after their sport, they can leave back to go back home. Instead of bringing everybody on day one, while somebody have his sports taking place in 2 weeks, so what would they be doing? There will be not much time for training here. They will be distracted and everything. You cannot get the medal. So we are keeping them there in Nigeria. They are coming in batches based on the time frame of their sport. So we are testing that new structure to see how that will work for us. Probably it will be better for us. While they are training in Nigeria, they come in here, do their games, and go back. The ones that have finished their sports, they go back. So no distraction, only focus on the job at hand. So we hope this new strategy might work for us. That is one. And then also on the official side, we have our officials here. They are learning the organization, the way they are organizing things here, the professional way they are doing things, and which now will help us with the way we organize our sport festivals and the way we can organize, because we are trying to host as many sports as possible across the world. So we need to bring our people here to learn the best practice of doing that. So we are also achieving something with that. And also from the strategy part and everything, both myself and my Director General, Bukola Alapade, we have been engaging all kind of stakeholders and the partners behind the scene to see what kind of collaboration we could do, what kind of engagement we could do, and how we can advance Nigerian sports to get that done. The first thing I did when I arrived here is meeting with the Prince to ask them what they are doing, the kind of investment they are doing, what they are doing, and stuff like that, which we can learn and be able to convince our government to pursue that kind of line of action. Even yesterday, we held a meeting with the Commonwealth, President of the Commonwealth Sports, to review our bid and to review their own pre-position that Nigeria should look at 2034. And we also communicated our feelings and our own, the way we think about it. So it's all encompassing program, and to see even how they even structure their own infrastructure for the games. You just show a picture of the boxing arena before you start your program. That boxing arena is actually just like a car park. But they quickly erected that emergency structure to make it a very beautiful arena to host the boxing event with the VIP lounge, VIP seat and everything. After the game, it will be dismantled. So it doesn't cost anything to say you're building permanent structure just to host games. So we are learning from all those kind of this kind of prepositions we are seeing here and the best practices. So at the end of the day, it will be a very big learning curve and also something good for Nigeria. But also, we are not taking our eyes off the medals. Nigeria have gotten only one gold medal before in the games we have participated. We came here with a program that maybe we should get between 7 and 10. So let's see how that goes.
All right, talk to us about diversity, because these are the Islamic Games, and some would think that it's only for Islamic athletes. Help us clarify that, because from our statistics I'm seeing here, from the 59 players and coaches, 55 of them are identified as Christians. Talk to us about inclusivity in sports and the fact that we need to come together to actually foster unity.
Well, the Islamic Games is just a name. It's because it's being promoted by Saudi Arabia and funded by Saudi Arabia. But it's open to all countries across the world. If you check the 57 countries that are participating here now, they came across all countries across the world, all continents and all countries. It's not about religion. It's not about anything to do with that. It's just to play a game that is being supported here. The same way the Saudi Pro League, for example, the same way you see all the investment firms, investment banks are all coming to Saudi Arabia to discuss investment and what have you. It has nothing to do with the religion. The same way people come and take funding from maybe Islamic Development Bank and everything. They fund every kind of project across the world, regardless of where you're coming from. So the same thing with the game. And you can see from the Nigerian team, for example, we have a 59-member delegation of coaches and officials. 55 of that, I think, are Christians, and even also about 24 of that are women. So it's a clear diversity, and it clearly shows what sports could do. It's a sport that can break all our fault lines and make us one person. If there is anything to do with religion or what have you, I think our athletes will not be participating. Because most of our athletes are not Muslims and stuff like that. So it's nothing to do with religion here. It's just about sport. It's just about advancing the quality of what sports could do, bringing people together, bringing cultures together, and providing a platform for more solidarity and more understanding between people of different cultures. It's what we call the social and cultural wealth that is, and the sporting wealth that is normally created via sports. So we are quite glad. And for a country like Nigeria, with the current conversation that is ongoing, unfortunate, but with these games now, it clearly depicts that whatever anybody think about Nigeria in terms of religion or whatever, it's totally misguided, because we can see how united we are and how we are all doing what we have to do regardless of who you are, where you come from. It's just about Nigeria. It's just about the national flag. It's just about the national anthem.
Lastly, before I go, of course, we just played an advert where you are one of the key figures talking about the Big Sports Dialogue 1.0. Talk to us about the importance of that and how events like that will help shape conversations going into the future.
Yeah, we need this kind of conversation and this kind of alignment, especially people like us who are leading the charge, because we don't know it all. So we need to bring all kind of ideas, all kind of people together to cross-personalize ideas, to discuss the problems, to discuss the solution, and probably agree on the pathway, on the way to move forward. And also for us as the people leading the charge, we can have a platform now to sell our ideas, to sell our vision and what we are doing as per Mr. President's vision for sport, and get everybody to buy into it. At the end of the day, this kind of conversation needs to be sustained and need to be made an annual event, and then it will become a platform that will set agenda for our sport development and also review where we are, set targets, see whether we are developing the right way or not, and then see what corrections we could take, and then also try to learn from the best practices across the world.
I want to say thank you very much for your time here on the Global Sports Report. We wish Team Nigeria all the best. And more importantly, with Saudi Arabia becoming the mecca of sports globally, I hope the National Sports Commission will be picking up a few tips to help Nigerian sports not come to power, but get closer to world-based practices as it regards global sports.
Of course, we have that idea. Saudi Arabia are not just about sport; they're about everything, the economy and everything. Just
True.
last week, they finished the future investment forum here. With all the global leaders are all here discussing investment across all sectors of the economy. So we have to learn to do that also with sports, and we have to also be focused. That's why we say we have to refocus our sports. We have to be intentional about it. And make Nigeria a hub to host all kind of events we can host, all kind of seminars we can host, all kind of things we can do. Because at the end of the day, it promotes our country, it makes our country look good, and also it provides a platform for our development across both social and economic fabrics. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, I want to say thank you very much, Malam Shehu Dikko, Chairman of the National Sports Commission in Riyadh, for the Islamic Solidarity Games.